is called as somatotrope. It's called as somatotrope, and this cell continuously it will produce the growth hormone. But the production of the growth hormone is controlled by two other hormones, that is growth hormone releasing hormone and as well as somatostatin. And releasing hormone and somatostatin both are present in the hypothalamus. Depending on the requirement, so they will get activated and they will influence the cell which produce growth hormone, that is somatotrope. I repeat again, the cell which produces the growth hormone are called as somatotrope and it is present in the anterior pituitary. So two other hormones, they control the growth hormone. So one is growth hormone releasing hormone. So from the hypothalamus, directly it is connected to what you can say, it will influence the growth somatotrope and it promotes the release of growth hormone. Whereas another hormone, that is somatostatin, which is also present in the hypothalamus, and this will inhibit the release of growth hormone. That means the hormone which stimulates the release of growth hormone is called as growth hormone releasing hormone, and the hormone which inhibits the growth hormone, it is called as which one? Somatostatin. Followed the concept or not? Are you able to understand or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then once the growth hormone will be released here, and growth hormone will be released from the anterior pituitary and they enter into the blood circulation. Once it enters into the blood circulation, some amount of the which one growth hormone, it will go to liver, and liver contains the receptor for the growth hormone, and growth hormone will bind to that receptor, and liver will start to produce one more hormone called as somatomedins or insulin like growth factor 1. And apart from that, growth hormone can also bind to the tissues and it will influence the development of the long bones, adipose tissue, and as well as long bones. It will go and bind the liver and as well as what you can say kidney. So these are the areas which will bind. Then what is the role of somatomedins? So once the liver produces somatomedins, so somatomedins, they have the similar set of actions like growth hormone. They also act like growth hormone. So these somatomedins also, they will act on the tissues and it will bind to the different tissues and promote the growth. So this is about the growth hormone. So this is what we discussed in the previous class. So now we will discuss what is that? Another slide. So this is little complicated to understand. Listen carefully. For example, you see here this line. First, you concentrate on figure number 1. This is the line. This is a cell membrane, right? And this is the receptor. This is the receptor. Now, what you have to understand, now we are going to discuss about the receptors. The receptors where it is going to act. Susmita Datta, mute it, madam. Kindly mute it. Every time I cannot tell you. So you can see that this is a cell membrane, okay? This is the receptor. Now we are going to talk about the receptors of the growth hormone. So which receptor it is going to act and how it is going to produce the development of the growth. And you can see that the receptor is present in the cell membrane. Part of the receptor are present outside the cell membrane and part of the receptor it is present inside the membrane, inside the cell membrane. Are you able to understand or not? Yes or no? Anybody know you answer? So this is the cell membrane. I repeat again, this is a cell membrane and this is a receptor. Part of the receptor is present outside the cell membrane and part of the receptor is present inside the cell membrane. And here you can see that this is called as transmembrane receptor. That means the growth hormone will come and bind to receptor. This is growth hormone. This round black one is there. No, this is growth hormone. So now you have to understand that growth hormone will bind to the receptor and it will produce the action. In the first step, what is happening? The growth hormone will come and bind to the receptor. Now you just go through the second figure, this particular figure. Once the growth hormone is bind to this receptor, next step is one more reaction will take place that is called as dimerization. I repeat again, you no need to remember all those things, orientation and dimerization. So this receptor is there, one receptor is there. And then what happens once the growth hormone bind to this receptor, the same another receptor will come nearer to this receptor, which is present in the cell membrane. It will come nearer to this receptor. and one more growth hormone will come and attach to this receptor. Now it is a pair. Now it is a pair. I repeat again. First growth hormone will come and bind to the receptor. Then one more receptor will come nearer to this particular receptor, and one more growth hormone will come and attach. This is called orientation and as well as dimerization. Point what you have to remember is this one in the beginning, first number one, it is actually not active form. Once it forms the dimer, that means pair, when two receptors are attached together and two growth hormones are attached to this receptor, then this is the activation. Original, that means receptor and as well as drug action or hormone action will start only once the dimerization will take place. Now you just go to the third diagram. In this diagram, what you can observe, inside the cell, this is a cell membrane, this is outside the cell membrane, and this is the inside the cell membrane. Inside the cell membrane, one particular type of hormone, what you can say, one hormone or enzyme or protein will come and attach to this particular receptor. Intracellularly, this one particular kinases enzyme will come and attach to this receptor. Intracellular, I'm talking intracellular, inside the cell, this one particular enzyme, it is called as JAK kinase or JAK or Janus kinase. This will come and attach to the receptor. So two receptors are there, two enzymes, JAK enzymes will come and attach here. After attachment, what will happen? The specialty of the kinase enzyme is it is concerned with the phosphorylation of the substrate. I repeat again, it is concerned with the phosphorylation. That means it will donate the phosphate to the, what you can say, any other substance. That means this is the enzyme specialty is it will donate the phosphate. Here you can see that this JAK kinase, it not only donates the phosphate to the receptor, it also, that means individually it will undergo phosphorylation. That means one phosphate will be attached to the receptor, and apart from that, so what I can say, JAK kinase itself will undergo the, what I can say, phosphorylation, and phosphate is attached to the, which one, JAK, that means enzyme. Then what happens? One inactive protein, one particular inactive protein. Can you see this particular figure? This is the inactive protein, one particular inactive protein that is called as STAT, signal transduction and activator of transcription. This is the protein name. So this protein will come and attach to JAK. This is the inactivated form. Once this is attached, what happens? Suddenly the whole receptor and as well as growth hormone will get activated. I repeat again. So first JAK will come and attach to the receptor intracellularly. Then what JAK will do, it will promote the phosphorylation. That means it will donate the phosphate to the receptor. You can see that the phosphates are attached to the receptor. Can you see this JAK? It is attached to phosphate. That means it promotes phosphorylation. Then after that, one pair of inactive protein that is called as STAT, signal transduction and activator of transcription protein, that will come and attach to JAK. Once it is attached to JAK, then automatically the whole setup will get activated. Then two things are going to happen. What is the first thing? Now this is one enzyme present inside the cell. Listen carefully, this is one enzyme which is present inside the cell. The specialty of this enzyme is, or not, don't think it is a single enzyme, group of enzyme. The specialty of this enzyme is these enzymes are concerned with the anabolism. They are concerned with anabolism. Anabolism means synthetic pathway, the enzymes which promotes the formation of any particular product, that means synthesis. So these are the enzymes which are concerned with the synthetic pathway. So all the enzymes which are concerned with the synthetic pathway, and one phosphate will be donated to this particular enzyme. Phosphate will be donated. That means it is the phosphorylation of the enzymes which are concerned with the anabolism. Apart from that, this whole setup of growth hormone and as well as receptor, what it will do, it will directly communicate with the nucleus of the cell. This is a nucleus. Am I correct? This is a nucleus cell, and this is the nucleus. Directly communicates with the nucleus and as well as DNA, RNA, and then it promotes the synthesis of the protein. It promotes the synthesis of protein which are required for the body. That means, so proteins are required for this, what I can say, development of the body, and whole framework of the body, it is made up of protein. So what happens? The growth hormone, after attachment to the receptor, it will promote the production of protein. The interesting point is this growth hormone, by communicating with the receptors and as well as enzymes which are present inside the cell, directly it will communicate with the nucleus of the cell, and then it is concerned with the production of the proteins. So this is